Greetings and salutations, fans of Dota 2. My name is Badger, once again here for some League of Lads Season 6 action, and I am being graced, only briefly, but I will be graced for draft analysis for Game 1 by the one and only Artorias. How are you tonight?
Good. I actually started playing ranked. It's insane.
You played 3 games, went 2-1. That's a good way to inflate your MR further. Get yourself out of Lads, yes.
Yeah, the games are just as bad as I remember. No, I won't get kicked out of Lads. I'm too bad. I bought my account, so I just got carried because I 50-50 my MMR because I play support.
Very cool. I mean, you were playing with some League of Lads names people might know. You were playing Pub of Double King, lost that one. Played one with Joker Chess as well, won that one. So
yes,
that is something. Either way, you said typical bands. Obviously, yeah, typical bands here: Grimstroke, Undying, OD, and Nyx. We're seeing some action supports being picked early on. We see a first pick overall Rubik into a next pick overall Witch Doctor. Is that possibly going to be? We're going to almost certainly be seeing the Rubik landing against the Witch Doctor. Any thoughts on that one?
I think that's pretty even. Depending. Okay, well, now unless they're either probably gonna pick a Jug or a Slark, and that should just win that top lane. If you want to talk about the Witch Doctor Rubik matchup, maybe not Slark, but definitely Jug would win that.
Yeah, I mean, PMA is a huge Jug player as well, and they instantly lock the Jug. Not sure what PMA is going to go just yet, but I have seen him play the Maelstrom Manta build, have seen him play the Travels Midas build, so I'm sure he still can play the Battle Fury build if he wants to do that as well. So PMA can certainly build whatever he needs to build this game to win this Dota game, so that is something.
So you can see any one of the builds. He knows them all.
Speaking of Dota things, we have records of the two teams. We have 5 average dudes. They are 7 and 11. Coming off a 1-1 up against Polar Ass the other day. Certainly very interesting 1-1 if you enjoy clown shows. But on the other side, we have Coconuts Gaming, who are currently 4 and 16. And you know what? I actually want to see Coconuts win. I have grown a soft spot in my heart for this team. You think about it, right? They're playing with, in terms of MMR, by far the worst team, and yet they're not in last place. I want them to stay out of last place. You know what I mean? I want them to win games. I see myself in Coconuts because they're the only team in Lads that has players that are my MMR. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I see myself in them.
I respect everyone on Coconuts, and I think they're good players, pretty valued for their MMR, and I'd like to see them succeed, just not in this series. I have an ex-teammate on the other team, and I'm pretty good friends with PMA as well. At least I think I am, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure you are.
Maybe he hates me too.
No. It's the massive Artorias fan club. By fan club, I mean Artorias hater fan club, but still.
Yeah, I've played a few pubs with CB as well. So I'd like to see them get their 2-0 that they need here and secure their playoff spot.
Yeah, CB's a nice guy. He always pings me after a series like, thanks for the cast, and I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. Even though like half the time my cast wasn't that great. At least it wasn't that great by my standards.
Yeah.
I have high standards for myself, damn it. So I for one remember the Trizzen cast, and I hold myself to that standard, damn it. Gotta have that professional radio announcer voice, damn it. But alas, I am not that. I'm just some fucking guy. Either way, though, I mean, looking at the bands, got some relatively standard stuff. I mean, obviously, Wraith King, Strong Hero, PA has seen an upswing in play recently. Arkwood and Respect Band, and then on the other side, Tiny, Earth Spirit, Axe, all run at you, do damn it. Actually, a little bit surprised that they're banning the Axe out, but other than that, they all make sense in terms of bands.
It might be a potential upcoming Protect pick if they pick their carries soon here.
I feel like usually you pick Axe, though, into a Jug. That'd be the usual counter pick if you're going to go for it in this meta. That's usually the obvious pick. Obviously, Jug, you can't pick Jug if you're Coconuts because, you know, it's picked by 5 dudes.
Mm-hmm. Although I wouldn't be picking Axe into Witch Doctor Juggernaut because that would still not be fun. Melee
that would be miserable time.
Yeah. I think the one thing about the Witch Doctor Rubik one-on-one trade is recently Witch Doctors have been going W second, and they just get a bunch of mana regen, like 2 Sages Mass or 3 Sages Mass. Or
has that been with like 1 point in Maledict, 1 point in Stun, or have they been like skipping ability or what?
Well, no, they go like level 1 Coconut, and you go level 1 W, and you just sit there and hold. You just have your heal active, and you just trade with the 4. So Witch Doctor could do that to outtrade the Rubik, but then that kind of just removes the whole meme strat of I'ma just put Coconut and Maledict on the enemy offlaner, and my Jug's gonna spin on him, and he's gonna die. So you kind of, I think, if you're running it with a Jug, you don't go that build, even though it does seem like a pretty decent build.
We're seeing Abaddon. It's at a 4 this game. We're going to possibly see some kind of really off-meta core Abaddon, or what is this Abaddon pick for?
I have no idea what it is. I'm just going to assume it's a 5 as of right now. It can probably trade pretty decently with Spirit Breaker. And they're probably just using it as a save.
Wait, Coconuts are mathematically eliminated from playoffs, right? Yeah, they are, sadly. Because they could finish with at most 6 wins, which is not enough, as there are 8 teams with at least 7 wins currently. So maybe they're just thinking some fun arrows. But I really want to see them not get last place. You know what I mean? I want to see like Gang Squad or Banana Hammock. No offense to Guam or Jer's teams, but I really want to see Coconut Gaming not get last place. I believe, damn it. I believe. And obviously on the other side for 5 Dudes, they're currently the number 8 seeded team. So this is a very important win in terms of making or not making the playoffs. They need, I think, at least 2 wins in the next 2 series, because they've got 4 games left to guarantee a spot in playoffs. So
there's 2 series tonight that are important for them, because the team behind them is also playing.
Yeah, they're playing. Speaking of the team, the other team, referring to Marty Shankslayers, they'll be playing the Toxic Tacos tonight, which interestingly enough, features you. So that's why I'll be leaving relatively soon, because you have your own series to play and your own draft prep to do for your Toxic Tacos games, which sadly I was not able to cast tonight. Will be casted by the one and only Math Magician, so will have to not be me this time.
Don't have to be so dark and gloomy about it.
So I have been like the #1 tacos believer. You know, I try not to show the bias in my cast, but I have been on this train for just whipping this train to a frenzy for months now. And this is the first taco series I have not casted in a very long time, so I'm a little sad about it.
I believe you've been labeled as the tacos doubter, because 20 minutes in the game, if we haven't won yet, but then we win later, you like to say that it's a very sloppy series.
If you think about it, the only person who really gives me that moniker, though, is the chief pretender himself, a man who falls from the sky, Snow. So I don't know about that one.
Yes, the man who pinged me at 7:30 today and said, "I'm playing Shaker tonight. I don't care what position, and I don't care MMR." And that is all he has said about our draft prep so far.
All right, interesting. Hopefully Marty Shankslayers aren't watching this series.
Oh, the other thing he did mention was, how do I drag this game out as long as possible? I'm thinking Arc Warden plus Techies.
Dear Lord, I'm so sad. I'm missing Redondo versus Snow. Because obviously I've got connections there. I for those who don't know, I hosted a talk show with Redondo for like a year. It was good times. And then after I did with Redondo, I did a different one with Snow for CDL. So I got connections on both sides there. But either way, we're seeing heroes be picked. We're seeing Sand King offlane. We're seeing a Sand King Spirit Breaker lane into a Monkey King and Abaddon lane, or a Monkey King and Rubik lane. What's the thoughts there?
I think Rubik would win the lane harder, but I think you may as well leave the Abaddon down there, because the Rubik's probably gonna give the Mars a bit better of a lane than the Abaddon would.
That's a good lane for Invoker, right? That's gotta be a good lane for Invoker.
I'd hope so. He last picked it into Amber. But then again, I know nothing about the mid lane, so...
You get Tornado to purge off the Flame Guard. You can just right-click him with your Alacrity if you get that ability. You have a lot of options there in Invoker. It seems like a very, very good lane for him.
Wait, it's a Coconuts game and SF has not been picked mid?
Yeah, apparently Alaris, Mr. Sawyer Green playing a different hero tonight. This is not the Fiend of Shadows, it is the Fiend of Embers, apparently, so... And then, any last thoughts on this draft before you leave me tonight?
I learned that Spirit Breaker can just kill anyone around the map at any time period, so maybe should try that.
All right, enjoy your draft prep for your Marty Chang series tonight. I'll see you later for some CS:GO or something. So have a good one, Burke, Mr. Artorias.
Peace out.
I've lost my co-caster. We are in the zone tonight for some commentary. I'm excited. Always love to be here for some casting. I like this 5 average dudes draft. I think their lanes are very good. I think they have a situation where they could possibly win all 3 lanes. I'm a little bit questionable about their top lane with Sand King Spiritbreaker, but I think their mid lane situation is fantastic. Invoker into Ember Spirit on paper is very good for them. Obviously, Jug Witch Doctor has a lot of potential as well, so I think if the Rubik lanes with the Mars, which is probably what they're going to do, then that means 5 average dudes can just straight up win all 3 lanes, which is a concern for me, but I, for one, I believe in Coconuts. I want them to win Dota games, damn it. I want them to not be last place. I like these guys. I genuinely do. It's a nice story, you know. They didn't replace their players. It's just a stack of friends, and they're doing their best here. They pick up 4 wins. It's respectable. They're not in last place, I don't think. So I hope they can do something in terms of next some wins here. But either way, draft game 1 seems a little bit rough. But either way, not important. I am here. I am Badger for some commentary. If you're curious on who's playing what, if you missed it, I got it over here. I may be calling Lars Sawyer Green because that is his former name at some point. Or I also might be calling Peripheral Neff because Neff is a much shorter name and that is apparently his actual name. So I will occasionally be doing that. So for those who are curious as to who is Neff, who is Sawyer Green, now you know who is Sawyer Green and who is Neff. Either way, a lot of Radiant heroes up here in the top lane. Got a ward up here from CB scouting Monkey King right here and right now. So they do see Lorenzo Von Motten already if they want to go on him. Bottom lane, we're seeing a PMA Jug, a Ural Rubik. Obviously can't spin him down, has that boots on Rubik. There's a warrior spotting out the Jug, if that matters. Not important though. And then they have Monkey sitting on the high ground with the Jingu Mastery, but it's few too many heroes to fight if they want to fight. Look at the sponsor name, WASD Power. If he is a WASD player, that is very cool. I, too, am a WASD player, as is Artorias if he was still here. He's not alone. I mean, a lot of lads players actually use WASD. I believe MSY uses WASD. Nara uses WASD. So a lot of WASD gamers and lads. I for one, I vibe with it. So either way, though, it should be a interesting laning phase. Not sure where the kills are going to be just yet. If I had to guess, they'd probably be in the bottom lane with this Jug Witch Doctor combo, but I'll try not to miss any kills today. That's going to be my goal, actually. My goal for this series is, as a caster, to miss 0 kills, which might be difficult because obviously some of the chaotic later game team fights can get, you know, real chaotic, but that's my goal tonight, miss no kills. It's a little bit harder, obviously, when you're solo casting as well, because you have to focus a little more on saying words than if you had a co-commentator. But you know, that is not important. I hold myself to a higher standard, damn it. I had an entire riff about it earlier, so might as well live up to it. We're seeing Helix playing this 5 Abaddon. Is dewarding, has that Aphotic Shield. So there's some interesting trading going on there. Obviously Notorious fighting up Ural in the jungle. He has skilled Maledict level 1, which is a little bit interesting, but he wants to get some damage. Obviously not getting it just yet. We'll get literally 5 damage with that tick there, but still. Ay. Looking over at bottom, obviously big spike for this Jug is level 3. Get level 2 spin, a lot more damage on that spin. And then he needs to mine level 6 on Mars. Because once Mars is level 6, then he needs to be holding spin more carefully. Because if spin is down, Mars can obviously kill the Jug. But obviously Jug, very good counter into Mars. For that reason, you can just spin away from the ulti. You're all tanking some tower shots. That's a little bit dangerous there, but he's going to be A-okay for obvious reasons, because he'll walk away. Spirit Breaker grabbing a courier kill. Ended up being another sentry ward, so bit unfortunate there. Losing his Orb of Venom as well, actually, I believe. So obviously that would have helped for the trading, but should be... Wait, Lorenzo's playing Mars. Wait, what? Are there 2 Lorenzo? Oh god, I think Macho Man is false nicknamed as Lorenzo, which concerns me immensely because I'm not actually sure if this is Macho Man or not. I'm going to be calling the Mars Macho Man all game if I'm able to, but that's... They are messing with my head right now. So I'm hoping... I am hoping this is Macho Man on Mars. He is the offlane player of Coconuts Gaming. But... they're messing with my head right now. This is, actually, it's one of the things I've lamented about this season is people false nicknaming. This is certainly an egregious situation. I mean, this is 2 players nicknamed as Lorenzo. Bottom lane, there's no mana on this Rubik. How do you get a Mango? Maybe might have been a kill, but even then, probably not. Top lane, wee bit of trading going on up here. They'll use a Boundless Strike on 2 from the real Lorenzo von Mattenhorn, the real carry player of Coconuts. Helix taking a lot of damage, but he should be able to simply walk away. Yeah, he will just walk away here. Middle lane, have not looked at mid much. Is even on CS so far. Invoker and Ember, very similar CS profiles. Should probably stay the same way. Maybe once Ember has 6, might be at a kill attempt on the Invoker with the support rotation, but until then, shouldn't expect too much action, bar a very good rune. Alaros doing a very good job in this lane of bottom lane. Macho Man goes down, was spinned plus maledicted by the combo of 5 average dudes, and an unfortunate death for him. Perhaps had he have not stolen the name of Lorenzo, he'd be alive right now. Meanwhile, top lane, Boundless Strike is on cooldown, but there is a Jingu Masquerade being popped. There is no charge actually for CB, so CB will eventually go down here. We'll get run down. Tips, multiple tips on the Spirit Breaker. I'm with it right now. A lot of spells being thrown out in contest of this camp bottom lane, but most of the creeps should go to Dire. Everyone's going to be okay. No kills. Simply gold and mana being exchanged. Bottom lane, they want to go for this Witch Doctor. Spear is available. Not being used, though. Instead, they are going to go for this Mars. Spin, Maledict are there. Doing a lot of damage. There will be a counter kill on the Notorious, though, before the Mars goes down. It's a 1-for-1 so far. In that, oh, actually they killed the tree top lane, so they wasn't able to go in there with the Primal Spring from the Monkey King, but they have silence there from the Abaddon. Boundless Strike is there, Sand King taking a lot of damage. Can you get a counter kill? The answer is no. Helix barely alive there, was not charged, was not gone on by heroes. So overall, simply a kill there for the Coconut Gaming side. Perhaps had they gone with the Burrow Strike onto the Abaddon might have been a kill, but it is level 1 Burrow, so possibly not in range. I should say probably not in range, but not important. Looking over at last hits, looks like all the cores are relatively even with their counterparts. Monkey and Jug, relatively even. Sand King and Mars, relatively even. Invoker and Ember, relatively even. So we've got a pretty even laning phase. Meanwhile, top lane Burrow is there on Lorenzo. Charge was actually used by CB. Perhaps a miscommunication there results in no kill occurring onto this Monkey King. Regardless, though, I'm curious to see what this where this Abaddon goes. Probably back to top lane. That is, yeah, this is Lorenzo's region. He's going back to top lane again. And then Spirit Breaker is only level 2 right now, so he's not doing he hasn't found too much in terms of action so far this game, but with that Arcane Rune and the charge, might just go for Ural bottom, or perhaps the Mars bottom. Coconut is there with that Maledict. However, the charge was onto the Rubik, so perhaps they'll simply kill the Rubik here. Spin is there from PMA. Is a level 3 spin, so a lot of damage, but he is not dead just yet. Has mana for Fable, if you can stay alive for a little bit longer. Spear from the Macho Man actually keeps... Yeah, Ural's still alive, so Ural doing a good job of juking through those trees with those boots. Simply not dying there to the 3-man gank. The Spirit Breaker rotation from 5 average dudes. Meanwhile, top lane, Epi is used with that Burrow. However, it's not enough damage just yet, but Helix was not in range for the Aphotic Shield. He will get a kill there. Huge play once again from the Beast of US Eats, and the tip comes out, tip for tip. And it's a fair tip for tip right there, you know. They did 2-man tip CB when he died. Now they're 2-man tipping Lorenzo when he died, so it's a bit of back and forth banter in this case. However, all this space has been very good for PMA. He is now the last hits leader. We'll be headed for the Maelstrom into, I assume, Manta build this game. Meanwhile, middle lane, CB is there. He did charge onto Ember. Peripheral is on the dive as well, but yeah, Alaris simply running away. We'll possibly, we'll TP the base. We'll possibly re-engage at some point. We might see actually no, Beast East is being gone on, but also bottom lane appears to be being gone on as well. Abaddon dropping very low, bounce strike is there. Sand King dropping low, needs one more hit. Actually, stick is there, and the Abaddon and the Sand King will both tie in the top lane. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. It's a very interesting play there. Obviously, a lot of damage coming out there from that level horse sandstorm. So it's simply a lot of very interesting brawling happening in this Dota game. Overall, though, thanks to a 1-for-1 trade in the top, it is still 4-4 in terms of kills. However, with the Cold Snap and the EMP, there will be a kill onto Lorenzo, unless Helix is there with the save. Needs more. Actually, with the coil as well, Lorenzo actually still alive. Good positioning there from Helix. However, in comes CB, has that charge, but he is salved. Power treads are on the ground. We'll pick them up, so he will not lose the treads today. Now CB is under tower. Peripheral is there with that Cold Snap if he wants to use it. Sand King burrows on both. They're looking for Monkey. He's Cold Snapped up. He's once again shielded. They need more. Do they have more? The answer appears to be no. Tornado is there. But he still needs more damage. In comes Macho Man on that Mars. Has no mana for Spirit. Ulti is there. Brings Spearbreaker back. EMP comes in. Nobody dead to say other than CB Spearbreaker. No, Epi is there onto 2. Huge play from the Beast of US East. It's a 2-for-1 trade. And now Sand King and the Invoker, they're diving in their tower. Cold Snap is there. They want somebody. It will be this Abaddon. Cold Snap actually being used on Monkey to find all 4 kills. And a huge dive from 5 average dudes. And they pick everybody except for Alaris, who has been pushing in mid lane this entire time, simply remnanting away from PMA, seeing TPs in his lane. It's an absolutely great situation for 5 average dudes. Look at the fight recap. I'm only seeing half of the fight right there, but it's a similar thing with the other fight as well. It's a great situation for them. The Sand King, obviously, another great Epi into burrow play. And Beast of US East, as he has done nearly every single game that the Fire Dudes have won this season, he is once again going off. This man is absolutely nutty. Either way, though, enough gushing over Sand King. Looking over at the hero net worth, Sand King, #1 net worth as expected, 5,000 net worth. And he is trailed by his 2 cores, Jug and the Invoker. Death Ward was used, bottom was cancelled by the Telekinesis. In comes CB on that charge. Spear will hit from Macho Man. Looking for Notorious. Notorious dropping low. Ural dropping low. Both of them. It's going to zoom out here. Down goes Notorious to the Ember Spirit's Sleight of Fist. And Ural simply going to run away. It is a 1-for-0 trade in favor of Coconuts. In comes the Mars Arena. Looking for CB. And they will kill him as well thanks to all the abilities from the Abaddon and this Mars. In comes Sand King. Simply taking up this dead lane here, trying to do his best. However, there is a sentry from Helix. They want to kill him. Burrow is through. He might be a bit isolated. Meanwhile, yeah, he's very low on Helix, but he simply will walk away. Both Rubik and Abaddon very, very low there, but neither will die. In middle lane, they appear to have gone on Alaris as well with this Invoker, but was not enough damage or lockdown to keep him dead or locked down, it appears. So far, 5 dudes. They are at the lead, but it's not a massive lead. However, their draft makes a lot of sense this game. They have a very fine matchup this game on their heroes. This is a very good game to play Invoker, a very good game to play Jug. So, if you're Coconuts, you might have to be thinking, what can we do to possibly kill this Invoker? Obviously, killing Jug this game, not going to be an easy job. Ember. Yeah, Ember's fine. They did, simply see the Witch Doctor walking up. Death Ward actually was stolen. Apparently, Notorious did not use any spells after dying in this rune area, as he lost Death Ward. Probably should use Maledict in the fountain on nothing, simply to clear out his spell casted, but sometimes you just lose your Death Ward to Rubik. Either way, though, Coconut will be onto Alaris, but he'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, simply bouncing on nothing under tower. And a lot of these Coconuts heroes are currently middle lane. They have 3 in the area. Tornado is there in Alaris. We'll keep him away from that Invis rune, it appears. Yeah, he's simply EMP'd back He's once again TPing the Fountain. He's used a lot on TPs this game. Obviously went phase boots over travels for the ability to be more active, but he's simply using so much money on TPs this game. There's a bit of a ward over dewarding middle lane. Cold Snap is there on Helix, has no ultimate just yet. There's a stun in from Sand King. He had that blink reveal right there. Death Ward is there from Ural, was stolen. So it is a 1-for-1, it's a 5 support, 4-5 support. And now, in comes Mars Ulti looking for Neff. Under that tower, looking for Synthoker. He's very low, and with the Remnant, they will finally get it. The kill will go to Macho Man. Epicenter was cancelled, but will get recasted. In comes CB looking for Alaris. In comes BCBS East looking to go under that tower. And nobody will be caught, nobody will die just yet, but the Burrow will once again be there on the Monkey. Both heroes taking a lot of damage. Bound the Strike is there on one, and still nobody's dead. Alaris might try to change that, though. And nobody will change that, actually. Ural taking a lot of damage from Sandstorm, and Helix dropping low as well. CB is going in with that charge. Naldic is there. They need, I think, one more hit to kill him. He should barely be alive there with that shield. However, with the Burrow there onto Ural, Ural will go down. Helix still alive, Ural goes down. In comes Lorenzo looking for Sand King. Down strike is on 2, but this is a rough fight. Airstrike is cancelled, but now looking for Alaris. He'll once again disjoint that Airstrike. He's being chased. Sand King misses on the Burrow, and there's a spear there onto somebody. Not sure who exactly. Either way, though, Helix will finally go down. And Lorenzo is fighting, or sorry, Macho Man is fighting Notorious. Notorious will go down. Macho Man on Mars also going down. So it's an utter and complete bloodbath in this middle lane. Favorable engagement for 5 dudes, and they want one more. They still had an airstrike, and they'll finally get Ural. He'll go down for the second time this fight. And 5 average dudes picking up that middle lane tower. They're alive on 5 soon, and they're at a 5k net worth advantage. So it's a very good situation for them so far in this Dota game. Invoker currently scouting in the jungle. He's going for a Witch's Blade this game. A little surprised he's not going for an Orchid, given the build Ember's going for, but I suppose they have enough lockdown for the Ember, and they're a little concerned about the Abaddon shield, obviously, but I'm sure Witch's Blade is fine. He might be walking into detection here, though. He needs to be a little bit careful. There is none on this Abaddon, but he needs to be careful of any errant sentries in the grounds. Middle lane, Coconuts want this tower. Cold Snap is there, but it was purged by the Abaddon. Jug coming in, as is a charge onto Alaris. Will actually hit him. EMP is there. Mars Ulti is on 2. Both of them still alive, though. Neff taking a lot of damage. Death Ward is there looking for Macho Man's Mars. He is still alive. Meanwhile, Ember trading with CB. And actually, on their end of the fight, Helix goes down. Pack the R in the fight again. Sand King is there. Burrowing on Ember, but Ember simply will remnant away. And it is 2 kills for a tower so far. Mars and Abaddon being traded for that mid-tier 1 tower was not denied, I believe. Yeah, it was not denied, so. And now they're looking for Lorenzo bottom. Beast of US East is in with that Burrow Strike, and with the charge coming through, they will certainly kill him. Actually, good balance strike from Lorenzo cancels that charge. He will try to TP. Can he get it off in time? And the answer is yes! Was not canceled by any heroes. Middle lane, Alaris, he's fine. Back to bottom lane. Never mind, there's absolutely 0 catch here from the Dire. They are not catching anything yet today, but perhaps Radiant might re-engage once they have more mana there on Mr. Sand King. Perhaps not. Whew. A lot of action in this game. You gotta love your action sometimes. Sentry Ward is their bottom lane, but looks like everybody will be fine. Unless Sand King does get caught here. Charge coming through. Will cancel, though. Meanwhile, in the jungle, Jug and Invoker looking for Monkey. They will find him, so he will die this time. Did not die bottom, but did die in his own jungle to the core combination of 5 average dudes. As it currently stands, they are starting to walk away at this game, getting quite the sizable lead. They currently have their cores on top of the board. Jug has taken the #1 spot from the Beast of US East's Sand King, and He's going for Radiance on Sand King, so that's a real baller item right there. That's an item you go for when you think you got this game in the bag and you want to stay ahead, I guess. That's certainly interesting for sure. Chains are there on CB. He's simply walking away. Invoker has TP'd in. There are 3 heroes defending and 4 heroes on the offense. But the 4 heroes on the offense simply going on a little bit of a rendezvous deeper into that Radiant jungle. Possibly looking for a Notorious middle lane. Top lane, Spear is used on the Jug, but Jug should be fine. If anything, you should be a little bit careful on this Mars. Yeah. Everyone's okay. Meanwhile, Stun is there, Burrow is there on this Ember, Death Ward is there as well. They wanted to get him, but they could not really find him with too much of anything, so... Mr. Sawyer Green was going to have a charge is there, bottom lane. Sunstrike did miss, Snare Strike is there, Peripheral is on the way, has that Tornado. Can he hit it? He will hit, needs a little more damage. Can they find it? And they will find it. Lars goes down. Now they're going after Helix's Abaddon. The Borrowed Time ultimate was popped. He'll go down as well. 2 kills for 5 average dudes. And once again, they're simply losing heroes all across the map. And they want the tower as well. They are picking out Rubik. Perhaps they want more kills. Looking at their vision, they seem to have not had an idea Rubik was there, but if Rubik does come out, they will see him this time thanks to that fresh ward there from CB. What is Jug up to? Has Omni Slash. Alright, they will actually not find each other. Probably good for the Mars. They did not find the Mars. Is a level 2 Omni Slash plus Maelstrom. So that is a potential kill threat on this Mars. Yeah, Invoker's very deep right now, looking for something. Hasn't found anything, it appears. However, CB is also under tower. They want Ural, but Ural's actually the stolen Sandstorm, but they will charge him under a tier 2 tower. In comes Nep on that Invoker. Gold Nap is there with that EMP, and in comes the Burrow Strike, and Ural will go down. And you gotta stop that dive. You gotta rotate in somebody at that point. You have to save your teammates. And if you cannot save that man under a tier 2, then you're gonna have a very rough time fighting this game, because there's not much of a better spot to be fighting than under 2 towers, but I suppose it is okay. They are looking for key items on Dire still. Let's see here. What is Dire looking for? They're looking for something. They have PMA in the area. They have Neff and Beast of US East coming in, so it could be a 3-man play. There's a charge onto Sawyer Green, but Sawyer Green, well, he's an Ember Spirit, so he'll be a-okay with the defensive round, of course. But they are still chasing him. Actually, good chains there from Malaris. Was on 2. Mars ulti also there onto 2. Nair Strike will go onto Matchman, but he'll be speared back. EMP will hit on, I believe, nobody. Now there's an Omni Slash onto Mars. Mars goes down. PMA looking for more. It's only Mars dead so far. Chains will miss this time. Balance Strike will be onto 1, but now they're once again looking for Helix. Borrowed Time is popped. Streetbreaker Charge was cancelled. He will go down. Kill will go to Sawyer Green. And now there's a Death Ward. They want something. Ural will go down. They're looking for Alaris. There's Tornado as well with that Burrow Strike. And he is in the run, but he's taking a lot of damage. He probably will go down there eventually. Sunstrike was in the area, was not needed, but there's Deafening Blast now looking for this Abaddon. Never mind. We actually will get 2 uphill miss chances. So Helix will be alive, but once again, another good fight there for 5 average dudes. Did a good fight in this high ground area. They were aware of where the Ember was thanks to that charge from CB. Was a good Mars ulti on, I believe, 2 cores to keep. Yeah, it was the Invoker and the Sand King, but unfortunately, the damage was simply lacking. They were not able to kill, say, Neff on this Invoker. Had they killed him, might have been the play they needed, but alas, no deaths. I think they only died on CB there. Yeah, and they will once again go onto the Renzo. The charge is coming through. The Invoker is in the area. He will go down. The question is who will he go down to, and he will go down to the Sand King. Beast of US East is wicked sick. He's 9-2 right now, and this man is an absolute monster. My lord. One of the absolute best offlanders in League of Lads this season. I've seen some taunts coming out from Coconut's middle lane. They are actually grouped as 3. Spear will be on Witch Doctor, but obviously nobody going down to that thing just yet. Now, Radiant converging middle lane. Ural did cancel the charge. Tornado will be there on that Rubik though. In comes PMA with the spin, has that Aghanim shard. Down goes Rubik. EMP was used, but he wasn't able to pursue thanks to that Searing Chains from the Ember onto the Invoker. And now Sand King has his finished Radiant, so he might look to fight here. In comes CB, charging the large Nair Strike is there, not yet though, next to that shield from the Abaddon. Mars ulti is onto 2, but not doing too much just yet. Macho Man dropping low, Macho Man is dead. In comes Sand King, Burrow Epi onto 2, they both go down. It's 4 dead for Coconuts Gaming. Simply Lorenzo alive on Monkey King, and it's disastrous situation for Coconuts. They're down 15k, they're down 16 kills, they're down a good handful of towers here. And in comes PMA on that jug. He's got Menta, he's got Maelstrom, he's almost at an Aghanim Scepter, he's going high ground. Alacrity is on him, they want this tier 3 tower, and well, there's a burrow there onto Monkey King. They still have Omni Slash, and they're not even going to need it. Spin is there. Godlike for the Beast of US East, and he'll be dead for 44 seconds, but does have buyback if Coconuts want to throw out a high ground defense once they have all 5. Tower goes down. They're going to the racks. They want these racks. Alacrity once again popped. And these barracks are just so low at this point. They're dead. Melees are down. They're headed for the range. They'll get the range, and they're now in the retreat. Chains only hitting on creeps. And there appears to be no pursuit. They will let the 1 racks fall. And they will be unable to pursue any heroes. They do not have a blink on Mars. However, they will smoke on 4. Monkey King not available just yet. They might be looking for Neff bottom lane on that Invoker. And he does not have BKB up just yet. He's actually on the low ground as well. It might be a very big kill. Chains are there. Mark LP as well. He's speared back. So they will kill this man. Dominating streak was taken by Macho Man on that Mars. So a very important kill. But they're going to need a few more kills than that if they want to turn around the fortunes of this game. But it certainly is a very good start. Monkey still working on a BKB, about 1,400 or so gold away. Looking at this, Ember has a Maelstrom working on that BKB of his own, and then Macho Man working on a BKB of his own. Perhaps those 3 BKBs will be enough to turn the game around if they can get them soon. But in comes the Beast of the East to say otherwise. Has the Epi, has the Burrow, he's fake animationing it. Chains are there on the Notorious, so they have an idea. In comes Monkey, ultimate will get popped, Wukong's command is there. Mars dropping low has an ultimate of his own, and Notorious is dead, but as is Macho Man on that Mars. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Now CB taking a lot of damage, Remnant goes through, they really want him, Sunstrike is there, we'll find the Monkey King. So it's a 1-for-3 so far, 1-for-4, and with the Lars going down, will be a 5-man wipe for the 5 average dudes. Coconuts, they're all dead, once again. And they do have 4 buybacks, but they're going to have to be used if they want to hold these barracks. They only like the Witch Doctor, so their push is certainly here. In comes Jug. He's once again under that Alacrity, and this tower, it's not long for life. It is going to drop here very soon. Abaddon, he is up for that defense, and they do have the Mars Arena as well if they want to fight. But instead they will let the melee racks fall top. They are now up on 5 if they want to fight, but 5 average dudes, respecting the team fight combo of Coconuts, are on the retreat, are headed to the Roshan. We'll grab the Roshan, we'll put an Aegis, possibly on Jug, possibly on Invoker. Probably on Invoker, actually. Unless they really are concerned about the pushing, they'll put it onto the Jug, as Jug is their building hitter. And Coconuts either are unaware of or are unable to stop this Roshan attempt from 5 dudes. And Roshan will fall. Aegis will actually go to the Jug, so they're saying, you know what, we don't even care if our Invoker dies. We simply want to keep our Jug alive. Worst case scenario, so makes sense. And Radiant did smoke as well, but if they're headed into the Dire jungle rather than the Dire Tri-Camp, they will miss. Looking at their vision, they do not see this Tri-Camp area. That happens to be where a lot of the heroes are, I should say, were of the Dire, but instead they're TPing bottom lane. There's a Hex on Sand King. In comes Epi. But it was used, but the chains will simply keep the Beast of US East in place. He'll be completely fine there on Alaris. So good chains from the Ember Spirit keeping the Sand King Epi on cooldown. But he's still going for Ember, actually. That's not going to happen unless he gets there very fast. Defensive Remnant is used, and actually might just pursue that. Spirit Breaker has Nether Strike, but he has no backup. Yes, he will have Sunstrike, though. Will it be enough? It's some damage, but not enough damage. Fire Remnant is there. He's on the retreat. He will TP. Can he get it off? The answer is yes. Ural will not be so lucky. He's burrowed. Hex is available if they want to use it. They're not going to use it. Simply will go down there to Disinvoker. And PMA says, you know what? I am sick of this shenanigans going on bottom lane. I'm going to get ready to high ground bottom lane. He is in position to cut this wave once it respawns. Coconuts are actually here on 3 heroes, but their ability to kill him is not high. 5 dudes will head for the barracks. Or sorry, for the tower first before the barracks. They will get the tower to set up for the barracks. Backdoor regen is there for now, but it's just simply not enough. Tower goes down. Last hit will go through the Sand King. And it's high ground time. Sand King is set up there to the right. Lorenzo set up to the left, so... However, the Macho Man is not there on that Mars, so they definitely need that for the fights. Burrow was stolen by Uriel on that Root Break, so a good steal to have, but... There's actually no TP on Mars right now. This is very interesting. They're trying to farm the BKB on him. But what use is a BKB on your Mars if you're fighting up against Megas? Alacrity is there, headed for the melees, and those melee racks will fall. It's simply a solitary ranged lax in this bottom lane left. Chains are there on 2. In comes Mars with the arena looking for Sand King. Tornado is through on 2. Swift Slash was used on Ural. He does not go down. Ember alive for now. Ural finally does go down. EMP will be there. Will hit on nobody, but there is a Hex onto Alaris. He'll go down. He has buyback. Burrow was through on 2. In comes that real Omni Slash, I believe. Yeah, that was the real one. And with 4 heroes dead, 2 of them having no buyback, the GG is called. And for 5 dudes, you have to be very proud of that victory. Played a very clean Dota 2 game. From the moment that first team fight happened in the top lane, where they traded 4 for 1, it was really a non-contest. They took that fight win and the 2k gold and tower advantage it provided, and they ran away with the game. So, well played to 5 dudes. And for Coconuts, obviously at this point, their season is already over in terms of playoff, but they still want to end their season on a high note. This is their last game of the season, so if you're a fan of Coconut, this will be your last time seeing them for the League of Lads Season 6. For 5 dudes, they still have 3 games left. This is still a game they need to win, though. Obviously, they are now 8 and 11. And if they win every game, they can go to a 500 record, technically, so a lot of potential wins to obtain here. As far as analysis goes, though, I mean, 5 dudes took good fights. They had heroes to fight. They had a Sand King who was in the right place at the right time. They had a Spirit Breaker giving a lot of vision in this game. They had Invoker who was contributing with the Sunstrike, the Urn Cold Snap combination with the Tornado, Sunstrike, everything was there. It was just, it's a well-played game from 5 dudes. They certainly were the better team this game. For Coconuts, though, you could say, you know what? We've got potential to play, you know? Because they did not do so badly in the lanes. They did a good job in the lanes until the fights broke out. Maybe they simply need to be positioned better on their heroes for the fights. Perhaps they need different heroes to fight better, but they did alright there up until the fight started. And once the fight started, well, it kind of stumbled out of control. But there's something to work with here. There is something to work with. Now, if they had different heroes and played a different way, they might have been able to win that Dota game, which is Literally useless information, but you know what? That's what I love to give. Big fan. Okay, Notorious is apparently the Notorious Boomer. I'm gonna give him a Sand King with sunglasses emotes. That is my response. Either way, I am excited for Game 2. I think Game 2 will be better than Game 1. That's, 5 dudes will have second pick this game, so we'll have to see, exactly, what ends up happening with the, side selection. Not sure if Coconuts want Radiant or Dire just yet. I would expect Radiant, because Radiant's a nice, happy side of the map, you know? You get the better tri-camp, the better pole camp from the hard camp. You get to be on the bottom left of the screen. You get to be the nice, happy green side to the live side. Meanwhile, Dire, you're on the other side of the screen. You have the terrible tri-camp in comparison to the Radiant camp. Your tri-camp's further from the Roshan. It's dark. It's bleak. You're the bad guy. So, you know, obviously Radiant wants to grab. Yeah, they'll grab Radiance. I, for one, have been on the Radiant train since before it was cool to grab Radiance. Back when Dire was considered the top tier side, I was taking Radiance because I'm a real edgy lad taking the Radiant side. But either way. It's Game 2 time. We'll be starting the game soon once Neff and Beast of US East grab their slots. I wonder what that video is. Okay, that is a meme titled "When You Find Out You're 6% Irish." I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I want to run into any copyright issues on my stream, so we're going to turn that one off. Yeah, we are simply waiting on the Beast himself to join the lobby. I should say to join the lobby slot. Obviously, he's in the lobby, but he is not present yet. So apparently in that video, the man talked in a very weird way. I'm going to actually open the video to listen to a little of this.
Ryan? Ryan?
Okay, there's a man in a weird hat yelling at a fence with Lucky Charms. But that was a very weird speaking man. I'd be surprised if Notorious was speaking that way the entire time, but you never know with these things. Okay. Dota 2 time, once again. It's time for Game 2. Very excited, obviously, if you missed game number 1. 5 average dudes did pick up the victory over Coconuts Gaming. I'm going to put the records up on the screen right over now. Let's go over to my OBS. Let's see here. We got Coconuts. They're now 4-17, and they're on the Radiant this game. We'll put that up there. And then we got 5 dudes who are now 8-11. I'm going to put them on the Dire side right over here. Let's just put them right in this little spot right here. And okay, there we go. I actually need to remember to take that off at the end of the draft, but I'm sure I will. It's only happened once this season. Either way, looking at bans, we are seeing slightly different bans. I don't believe Marana was banned out game number 1. I'm going to double check that right now. It was not banned game 1 at all. So we actually are seeing, we're seeing Grimstroke through the ban phase, if either team wants that, which was first phase banned game 1. Coconut will pick a first pick Ench, a hero we have been seeing in some pub games recently, but not too much we've been seeing in lads games. Either way, though, strong support in terms of trading in the lane for sure. Yeah, Witch Doctor for 5 dudes, so once again, Notorious. The notorious Witchy D will be back. Coconut, though, will respond with a clockwork of their own, so probably their 4-role hero, unless we're going to see some real weird stuff. And 5 dudes will grab the Alk, one of the premier heroes of this current understanding of the patch. Obviously a hero who can play carry, but also a hero who can play mid and a hero who can play offlane, especially if you want to go with a weird build out of the offlane. We have been seeing a rise of offlane alchemists giving Aghanims to their teammates, so perhaps we might see that this game. Alchemist. I mean, at least one good thing with Alchemist is Alchemist does actually, that's probably a bad thing, because Alchemist creates very swingy games. A lot of times Alchemist, either he'll accelerate out of control, or the enemy team will just keep him down constantly. It creates very volatile games, where you might see some weird plays from either team, either to secure farm for Alk, or to kill Alk, so could be interesting in that sense, but we'll have to see on that one. Bans. A lot of heroes from last game not available this time. I mean, obviously, Mars, Sand King, Spearbreaker, all were picked last game. All are banned by the team of Coconuts. 5 dudes, once again, banning out Arc Warden. I believe Timber is a new ban for them. And they will also ban out the Jug, so I say, you know what, we had Jug game 1, we don't have you have Jug game 2. We believe Jug, strong hero on the patch, we don't want you to play it, get out of our Dota game, so, makes sense. Ay. Here we go. Time for the second pick phase. I am being told that Notorious has that, and I quote, Southern twang voice, which he has said, "Fight me like a man, you bitch." I'd be like, "Fight me like a man, you bitch." I don't know. I'm not really good with the Southern voice, but apparently it is a 10 out of 10 experience, from what I'm being told by the one and only Artorias. Either way, we are seeing Grimstroke be picked now. Was banned out first phase game 1. This time it's available. Was banned out by Coconuts in the first phase, so clearly they fear the Grimstroke of CB. And CB will have a chance to play Grimstroke this time around. Looking at CB, he I'm looking at his esports profile real fast. He's got 7 games on Grimstroke in competitive. He is 4-3 in those games. Let's see if I can find his lad stats real fast. I cannot find his lad stats, sadly. Either way, though, they certainly are fearing the Grimstroke of this man. And as I was looking up some stats, we did see a Death Prophet for the Radiant. Will be played, not sure where just yet. Obviously a very flexible pick. Can play it mid, can play it support, can play it offlane. So a lot of options there. 5 dudes have that tiny. They are taking a chance to pick these heroes that were banned out game number 1. Not this time, not game number 2. So they are available. Man of Rock, he has arrived. Probably going to be the offlane hero for the one and only Beast of US East. He has certainly gone off on Tiny this season. Last time he played Tiny, I was there for it. And he had, I think, 117 last hit to minute 10. Now, if we ignore the fact that he played into a Broodmother, that's a very impressive stat. Even then, that's the sort of thing where you can say, hey, I had 117 last hits at minute 10 in a 6K lobby. What up now, noobs? But this is no. So this man's tiny is very impressive, so should be fun to watch. And then we're seeing an Ursa for the side of Coconut Gaming. We played by, I'm assuming, Lorenzo von Mattenhorn for the carry. So it looks like this draft is coming together. We'll probably be seeing a 4 o'clock, a 5-inch, a mid DP, and a carry Ursa. On the flip side, we'll be seeing a carry Alk for PMA, and then a 4 Grim, a 5 Witch Doctor, and an off-lane Tiny. So looking at a mid for 5 dudes and a... It depends what Coconut want to do with this DP. I would expect an off-laner, but maybe not actually. Maybe they're looking for a mid laner actually. Hard to tell. We'll see with what they pick. 5 dudes, a little less ambiguous. Probably be a mid laner. I'm not sure what Naf's gonna want there, but I'm sure he has a wide repertoire of heroes he can go for this game. A lot of middle laners are not banned actually. Puck is in the pool. Void Spirit's in the pool. Ember Spirit's in the pool. If they want some more weird stuff like Quap, obviously that's available. And the hero that was not touched last game or this game yet is Shadow Fiend, which is a little bit interesting because we haven't seen a lot of Shadow Fiend as of late from the real Sawyer Green, who is the Radiant middle laner. Surprised that has not been contested at all in either of these games, but apparently both teams say, you know what, we don't want Shadow Fiend, we don't care. Yeah, the Invoker will be banned out this game, so there will be no Invoker for the man in the middle for the Dire, so... You'll have to see what the alternative is. Not sure it's going to be just yet, but we'll have to see. Sipping on some water. There we go. Shadow Fiend will get banned. So Coconut say, you know what? You have your offlaner. Maybe it's a Clockwork. Maybe it's the Edge. Maybe it's the DP. We think you want a middle laner. We're going to ban out that Sawyer Green SF. But there is still a lot of good middle laners still in that pool. So we'll have to see what happens. I like Puck for Coconuts, but I can see why you wouldn't go for Puck. If you play Puck at a level of execution that is anything but optimal, it's a very hard game to play Puck. Obviously, Blink Tiny, if you can't phase shift that combo right away, if you're not right on play with that reaction time, you're gonna die. Grimstroke has a lot of good follow-up, stuns, and silence. And they will go for Puck though. I'm excited because this is one of those games where this is a very hard to execute Puck game. But if you play it properly, it's a very good Puck game. Now, so the real Sawyer Green, Alaris, has really been a very good player this season. Not only the best player on Coconut Gaming, but if anything, he's been one of the better middle laners in Lads. Certainly in the top half of middle laners, if not even in the top third of middle laners. This man's been putting up some very good performances this season. So I'm excited to see what he does on this Puck. Should be a very fun time to watch him play that hero. And for 5 dudes, you're thinking, alright, just pick Void Spirit, get it done with. It's the very obvious, easy pick if they want to go for it. A hero that can counter out Puck in more than one way, so if they want it, it is available. They do still have a minute left of reserve time to think it out, so we'll have to see. Yeah, they will go for the Void Spirit. It's the easy option. They thought it out. They did their due diligence. Like, alright, do we want this hero that makes a lot of sense? Who's one of the best heroes in the meta? And the answer was yes. Of course, they want the obvious answer, but I'm excited regardless. If you're curious on who's playing what, it's on the screen, with the exception of, actually, that's not useful information. The Death Prophet is played by Matt Joe Man, and it will be offlane, so that's... I'll have to yell at Nacho Man later about that. Either way, though, it is time for game number 2. Let's go over to this little thing right here. Let's take that off the screen. Yep, there we go. We got it off the screen. We're good to go in that sense. Should be fun. I, for one, am excited. I'm excited for a good Dota 2 game. Wait, never mind. Notorious is playing the Grimstroke, and CB is playing the Witch Doctor. So that's interesting. Might be a 4 Witch Doctor this game. Not sure how that's going to factor into what's going on here, but either way, it is time for Defense of the Ancients 2. On the Dire side, looking to secure a good seed for the playoffs, make the playoffs in general, it's the 5 average dudes. And on the Radiant side, with their last game for League of Lads Season 6, it's Coconuts Gaming. Here we go, boys. This is your last chance to show League of Lads what you can do. Make me proud. And there is currently clock in this bottom lane. I don't think it'll be a tri lane, but they're probably looking for a first blood of sorts. Jirel does get caught. Battery Assault is there. Tiny, now fighting. In comes the cast. In comes Stroke of Fate, only on the clock. He's dropping low. Needs to throw... Oh, the tree toss from the Beast of US East. This man, once again, secures that first blood. What a player. Okay, I wasn't that impressive, but I'm trying to get hyped here. Now there's 4 bottom lane. They look for Helix. Cask is there. Stroke of Fate actually will miss from Notorious, but with that Astral Remnants, they will get a second kill for 5 average dudes, and they're off to an absolutely fantastic, meteoric start to this game already. And it will be 2 runes for 2. PMA not even going to contest this rune. Says, you know what? I'm chilling. I haven't seen some heroes. I'm good. So there will be the 2 top runes to the Coconuts Gaming and the 2 bottom runes to the 5 average dudes. A little bit scared for these lanes once again for Coconuts. Puck, Void Spirit, not a great lane for Puck. This top lane probably should be fine. DP, Clock should be able to beat out this Alchemist and Grimstroke. And then Ursa, Ench. Actually, Ursa Ench should do pretty well as well, so I actually like these side lanes. Mid lane I don't like too much, but I like the side lanes for Coconuts. Either way, though, there will be some brawling in both these side lanes. A little bit of brawling here and there. Yeah, Ench and Witch Doctor obviously fighting. And then we're seeing supports brawl in the top lane. Now Notorious has shown up to the lane, so... your usual Dota 2 affair in that sense. We are seeing Lorenzo. He has opted for level 1 Earthshock, perhaps to secure the range creep last hit once that time comes, instead of the more common Fury swipes. CB and Helix both taking a lot of damage, but neither should die. CB is level 2, so that's a little bit dangerous for Helix. Yeah, Helix needs to be very, very careful here. He does have that Satyr creep. Cask is there, but Maledict will not be used. So everybody will be okay. Helix is supposed to be brawling now with the Satyr onto the Beast of US East. A lot of heroes are very, very low in this top lane as well. Ural should be fine, and Lorenzo should be fine, though. Bottom lane, though, CB getting very low, as is Helix. Helix will go down, but as will CB. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and the Satyr certainly did his job. A lot of those orb spells being used there did a lot of damage on the CB. Went through that entire salve worth of HP. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. Notorious does get a D-ward top lane, but that D-ward probably, the Sentry is now dead as well. Was killed by Ural's Sentry Ward. Middle lane, Puck actually off to a very good start so far. 11-3 versus Void Spirits 5-1. A little bit surprising, but I mean, Solar Green certainly a very respectable player, off to a very good lane so far. We have this troll creep now for the Ench. We'll actually use the net on Witch Doctor. They will dive here if they need a little more. There's no impetus. It is on cooldown, and CB simply walking away, possibly miscommunication there from Radiance. And CB, yeah, CB is fine. Middle lane, now that the Void Spirit did get a salve, he's back to man fighting, but the HP is already gone. Looking at last hits, Tiny is on top so far. He is a bit ahead of the Ursa. Lorenzo, relatively even. He's beating up PMA pretty significantly here in the top lane. PMA not off to a good lane so far. Bottom lane, though, there's a Maledict there onto Lorenzo. He will go down eventually, and it will be a killing spree for the Tiny. So both offlaners have had a very good start to this game. Tiny having a great time into this Ursa. Death Prophet having a good time into this Alchemist, so good day to be offlaners in this game. And then mid lane has gone the way of this Puck so far, so Coconuts are ahead in the lanes, which is a good thing to see. That's the sort of thing you want to see if you want to get ahead in this game. A bit of a fight at this rune. Ural has secured the top one, and Void Spirit does not want to go into that, so they are... Actually, Alar's going to kill here with the orb. He missed the orb! No! Sawyer Green, you had it! Top lane, Lorenzo, or sorry, Matchman taking a good bit of damage, but no kill just yet. That's so unfortunate from Sawyer Green. He missed that orb. Could have been a very good kill there. See, CB gets a kill on Helix bottom lane with that cast in that Maledict. So, Ench once again goes down there. Actually, they'll get the kill anyways, I believe. These one more last hit? Never mind, not enough there. Too much physical resistance there, thanks to that Resonant Pulse shield component. So, Alaris once again wanted that kill, was not able to find it, but it came very close, and he will actually force the Void Spirit to go back all the way to the fountain, so Puck might be able to even secure a bounty rune aggressively, which could be interesting. He's going to go for it, actually. This could be a very interesting engagement up here. Orb in. It will get denied by CB, actually. So he actually did force a rune deny, but he did have to orb forward and expend mana in order to not get a rune, so not ideal for Puck. So he had the right idea there, trying to force out that rune. Just be annoying. Void Spirit does a good bit of damage. However, now they're turning. They just slow him up there. They actually missed the Hellbear clap, but probably would not have mattered either way. Looks like they do have a Clockwork in the area as well. In the top lane, Macho Man is diving onto PMA. They're looking for that kill, but now there's going to be a turn. Stroke of Fate is there. Inkswell is there if needed. It's not actually, there's no mana there to pop it onto this Alchemist. And now with double siphons, okay, Ural is here. Cogs are used. PMA will die there to the damage of the DP and Battery Assault, but it will be a counter kill on that Clockwork, so a 1-for-1. Overall, certainly a good trade for the Radiant so far, but Mr. Matterman needs to not die here on the Prophets. However, Notorious has no mana, so there is no kill threat there. Meanwhile, middle lane, Alaris very low. Void Spirit is hasted, but has no mana for another Astral Step. We're seeing a lot of action here so far in this early game. That's for sure. Now we're seeing Ench take up some property in this middle lane, looking for some levels and experience. Obviously, that does hurt the game of this Ursa, but sometimes you hurt the game of your Ursa. Cask is their bottom, but there is a stun and toss combo from the Tiny as well, so they will kill him. Can Ursa get a counter kill? And the answer appears to be no. He will take out to the Maledict eventually. Has no Enrage just yet to stay alive. However, Ural is there looking for Notorious. We'll find that kill there with the Cogs and the Battery Assault. So it is a 1-for-1 across the map. Obviously, though, a good 1-for-1 for 5 dudes picking up the enemy carry only for your 5 support. Even though those two were kind of... I mean, they were related, but they were not directly related. Middle lane, CB and Laris are looking for... Or sorry, they're looking for CB. CB will go down here. Can they get a counter kill is the question, and the answer appears to be no. There is a Maledict onto Alaris, but they will heal him up with the End Shield, and there's a bottle as well. I want to point out the skill build on Alaris has no points in phase shift. Certainly a little bit Odd, but it makes a bit of sense this game against the Void Spirit. Top lane, they're looking for PMA. They're going onto him now. Void Spirit might be trading as well, but we'll watch him to kill there onto PMA if he does go down. Ural trying to chase is not as fast, though, as the Alchemist, so... Extra system damage, not enough to kill PMA. With the extra Ink Swab move speed, simply will walk away back to the jungle, back to farming. It looks like Void Spirit was not going on middle lane, so but I missed no action at all there. Oh, God. That's some good water. That is some good water. Either way, though, this is the big point in the game for Alchemist. He is in that jungle. He has had stacks made for him by the supports. He is farming creeps, trying to recover his game. And as an Alchemist, he'll certainly have a very easy time doing that. Clock was spotted out. He'll be fine. This tower, taking some damage, but the tower should be fine. Bottom lane, they might even dive this Ursa. I'll try to catch that if it happens. I think he lacks the damage to kill him immediately, though, so that'll be a hard time. However, Ural is being gone on. Cogs are there. There are 3 heroes in the area, but there is no way to get on top of him further, so there will be no kill just yet. Middle lane, tower dropping low. In comes Void Spirit. Has that Remnant not used onto the Puck, though. Coil is there on 1. They really want Void Spirit. The cask is bouncing. And now Macho Man under tower dropping very low. He will go down to that Stroke of Fate. Never mind, we'll go down to the damage from the Void Spirit. And now Alara dropping low. Stun is there from the Inkswell. And they really want, and they will get him. It's a double kill for Neff on that Void Spirit. And an absolute disaster for Coconuts. They wanted that dive. They wanted to kill this Void Spirit so badly. They wanted to slow his game down, but instead, they feed him with 2 kills. Absolute disaster. And now, momentum is squarely in the corner of the Dire. Their Alk is farming. Their Void Spirit now has 2 kills. Their Tiny has 3 kills. It's looking rough already. It's looking rough again. And their Ursa is not off to a good game so far. Has no components of that Battle Fury. Only has Treads and a Wraith Band. Top lane, they will look for PMA, but PMA simply will walk away. There is no 6 on this Clockwork. Ursa trying to farm, has the Enrage if he needs it, but the problem is Beast of US East. He's even sacrificing his own farm to stay on top of this Ursa. And he knows, you know what, I have kill gold. I am the #1 net worth leader. I'm even ahead of PMA on the Alchemist of all heroes. I don't need gold. I need space creation. I need to keep this Ursa down. Meanwhile, top lane, we might see a dive. Never mind, no dive just yet. They're picking out CB. In comes Void Spirit. He steps in, has the Remnant, does miss it. So now Ural is in Cogs fighting with CB. Coil is there only on this Tiny. Macho Man taking a lot of damage. He's soulbound to Alaris. Tiny actually did go down there. It's traded for CB. Actually, it's both. Actually, it's a great fight for Coconuts. There's 3 heroes dead. With the hook in from Ural, it's going to be 4 heroes dead for 5 average dudes. Simply PMA, the only survivor who is racing in the bottom lane looking for his Battle Fury. And Lorenzo, in the meanwhile, was pushing mid lane tower. So it's 4 kills in 2 towers for nothing. Because they got the top tower, got the mid tower, that one's dead as well, and they got 4 kills. And they traded literally only cooldowns. So an absolutely fantastic fight for Coconuts Gaming. And that is the exact thing they need to get back into this game. They are at a huge advantage now in terms of momentum. They have a net advantage over this Alchemist. And they're getting warped in this jungle. They're getting a lot of vision. They want to stay on this Alchemist, possibly kill him. However, Alchemist, he's starting to get out of control. He's very close to that B Fury. He will be farming the Ancients and the Hard Camp. Back to the jungle. Void Spirit is here, has 2 steps. We'll use Assimilate to get away from the clock. Clock is still there. However, he has no mana for that hook. Tiny combo is there on Ural. Ural being tossed into Neff. And he will go down. The kill will go to CB. Damage from the Maledict, I believe. So overall, it is simply a clock going down. Coconuts now in the retreat. Macho Man needs to be very careful in this top lane. He might just get gone on. The Tiny has no blink just yet. He's still farming it, so he will be okay on Death Prophet for now. Tiny is fighting multiple heroes from Coconuts. Coil is dropped with that Spear Vessel as well. Hook is in. Will stun up the Tiny, I believe. Tiny will go down. And now, both of these Soulbound heroes are on the run. Inksfall stun will be there only on Lorenzo. Down goes Notorious, and Uriel has the cogs on CB. Neff is fighting Alaris. Alaris will go down, but Neff will go down as well. And now, Deathward is popped, but CB simply going to get run down by the Ursa Bear and Matt Joe Man. They will find the kill onto Uriel thanks to, I believe, the Maledict damage. But it's once again a good fight for Coconuts, 4-4-2. The lone survivor being PMA, who is now at his B-Fury, is farming up this Tri-Camp, was spotted out by Coconuts, but not before he farmed up the Ancient stack and the Hard Camp stack. So good farm there for PMA, and as expected, the Alchemist is number 1 in net worth. Number 1 in net worth by a country mile, already a 2k net worth advantage. But the thing is, they're actually not ahead as a team. The team net worth advantage is only 1k, so a lot of this farm is an Alchemist. They are all in on the Alch this game, it appears. Tiny is starting to sacrifice his game for the Alch and the Void Spirit, not particularly online this game. But Tiny does have the Blink. Hook, a little bit short from Uriel. And Tiny has an Arcane Rune and a Blink Dagger, so perhaps he will look for some kind of kill action over here. He is headed towards the jungle area. Looking at Dire Vision, they see 3 heroes middle lane, and they see a hero top lane, so there will possibly be a jump middle lane if they can find the right opportunity. Looking at Radiant Vision, they see basically nobody right now. They're seeing an Alchemist bottom lane. In comes Tiny. Does see Uriel, blinks, but does not get the toss off just yet. He's now in cogs, he's Deathled, he's Spirit Siphoned. However, Clock, under tower, Clock goes down, but Tiny is the trade kill. So it's a good trade for Coconuts. They trade their Uriel Clockwork for a Beast of US East Tiny. That's a very fantastic 1-for-1 trade. And now, they are headed to the top lane, possibly for this top tier 2 tower. Exorcism is online, so Matt Joe Man can pop that, can look for this tier 2 tower. But Dire appear to be in the mood to defend. CB is there, but it's only CB there. He's a very alone man. And Radiant are picking out the area. I'm not sure if they see him. I believe they actually did see him briefly over there. Yeah, with that rocket flare, they will actually see him. However, there's a Coil there onto Notorious. Notorious getting low. Deathward is popped by CB. He's trying to fight. Toss is there on Lorenzo. Or sorry, onto Matt Joe Man. Matt Joe Man goes down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Grimstroke for DP. And in comes Void Spirit looking for Alaris. Is there a stun? Is there anything? There's no Astral Step, but there is no Astral Remnants. So Puck simply on the retreat. Tiny has Blink in 1 blink. But he blinked to the left. Did not find Alaris. Is there a toss? It's onto Uriel, perhaps. He'll be tossed into the Void Spirit. Cast is there as well. So Uriel will eventually go down. Got the hook off, but only a brief stun there onto CB was the result. So overall, good engagement for the 5 dudes. They pick up 2 heroes. They only lose their Notorious Grimstroke. So a pretty good trade there. And all that time, PMA is still farming. Every time we look away, he gains 1k more net worth advantage over the enemy counterparts. He's just Alchemist. He's got the B-Fury. He is farming so fast. He has S and Y in the Courier. He is nearly online already. We lost that BKB, but after his BKB, that man is already a threat to all the peaceful existence. Dire smoked. Find the Puck. Can he kill him? Apparently not, actually. Puck, Alaris, he does escape. The Tiny combo was there, but there was not follow-up in time from the Dire. There was no Inkswell prepped. They were not ready to pop on the Puck just yet, so... But now they once again re-engage on Puck. Puck will actually stay alive this time. Coil was there. Puck will finally go down. Soulbind is there onto Helix and onto Matt Joe Man. They're both trying to stay alive here, but they're... actually killed the Void Spirit, so it's a 2-for-1 so far. But once again, in comes Tiny. Helix actually not dead. PMA trying to chase, has that stun. The concoction not being used just yet. He's just hitting the tower. And they appear to be fine. They are running away. It is a 2-for-1 overall trade. Favorable trade for 5 dudes. Trading mid laner for mid laner and picking up a Clockwork as a spare kill as well. Tiny, though, is still going for a crazy play onto Helix, and he's going to pay for it. Beast of US East will go down. Got a little bit too greedy, a little bit too, trying to feel himself with that soul kill onto the Ench. Did not have it, and he paid for it. Now Radiant, they have a smoke if they want to use it. They have all their stuff available but that exorcism. And if they can get more mana on Macho Man, they can use it. Instead, they will not use the smoke. They will simply walk into the Dire Tribe camp, looking to find somebody. Dire saw the movement, and the creeps weren't even there at that point anyways. PMA had already farmed them, so they are in the right spot too late to find any Dire heroes. However, they might go on to Puck here. Step in with the Spirit, has to assimilate. They once again silence. In comes Ural with Hook, trying to stun something. In comes Tiny. Huge damage on Alaris. Alaris goes down. And now they're on the high ground for Coconuts, but they're running out of heroes. Death Ward is there, hitting Ural. He'll go down 2 for 0 so far. And now they go on to the high ground further. There are no Astral Steps, but there is a Blink combo from Tiny in 1 second. Can he find Lorenzo von Mountain The answer is maybe. And the answer actually is no. He will TP away in those trees, and Helix will TP away on that Enchantress as well. So there's only 2 kills for the 5 dudes. But overall, it's 2 kills for literally nothing, and PMA was free farming the entire time, so they're very, very happy with those affairs. And Alchemist, before last time I looked at him, he was 3k ahead of the Ursa. Now he's 6k ahead of the Ursa. This man, he's practically inflating the gold market of this Dota game. His gold is going to absolutely dwarf all the other gold in this Dota game very, very soon. And they're drawing circles, Radiant, they're drawing circles in this Dire jungle, but they lost Notorious Finley as well. I missed that kill. Simply an orb in from Puck, I'm assuming, into simply killing him. Coil was not used. Hook was not used, so probably Grimstroke just in the wrong place at the wrong time. However, the fact that they used nothing to kill that Grimstroke means they can go for this top tier 2 tower. Macho Man pops his ultimates. They're onto the tower. Dire, not really in the position to defend, actually. Simply possibly letting the tower go. The Beast of US East is in the area. Might go for a tiny play here. He is spotted out. Does get hooked in by Ural. And now he will toss the clock away, but in comes Alaris. He's now in the Thunderdome of those cogs. And the Tiny is fighting alone. He'll go down. Dire supports are in the area, but they don't want to be in this area. That is their certain death if they go any further forward without help. Void Spirit is here, but there will be no fight. Simply a good kill on the Tiny, on top of a good kill on the tier 2 tower, but Dire, they want to go forward. Inkswell is there on Void Spirit, but there's a good cogs back from Ural. Soulbind onto Helix, but it latched onto no heroes. Actually, it latched onto Macho Man's Death Prophets. Ural trying to distract. He's on the run on that Clockwork. Will eventually go down to the damage of CB. In comes DP, in comes the Quill. It's on 2. Grimstroke is TPing, will get away. The other 2 heroes might not be so lucky. CB goes down. In comes Ursa. He gets only a single kill. The other one will go to Helix. But overall, 2 more kills for Coconuts. And they're going to go into Roshan Pit. Ursa has no lifesteal, but he has teammates. And actually, Tiny is there, looking for the puppets. Alchemist has the stun. Macho Man goes down, and now Alchemist is headed to the pits. Ursa still hitting Roshan. PMA is there, has BKB, trying to fight, did not pop the BKB. Alaris, still alive, has 2 charges on the vessel. There's a Blink Tiny combo onto that. Helix Ench, but he's still alive for now. Okay, he will finally go down. And now for Radiant, this Roshan fight does not seem easy. But they do have Clockwork on that sort of Dire area. Has Hook, has Rocket Flare, and they know the Dire are not in the pit just yet. So we are seeing a bit of a standoff at this Roshan area. Ural is spotted. Tiny not in blink range just yet though, so no kill just yet. Looking at Dire Vision, they do not see Clockwork. And Clockwork does not see Tiny. Dire, they are scared of the Roshan. They are scanning the pits. Currently, Lorenzo is not in there, though, so there is no Roshan just yet. Alright. He might be back in the pit again. Not yet. Simply going to farm up this mid lane. We're seeing Coconuts. They are splitting the map. They have a DP bottom. They have a Ursa middle. But now with DP TPing in with their travel boots, they will smoke as 5. Will it be into the Roshan pit? The answer is probably. And the answer is yes. They're in the Rosh pit. As for Ural is scouting in the jungle. And there will be no contest on this Roshan. Dire not there in time. Tiny's in the area, but they appear to not know what's going on. Now, the jump from Radiant. Hook is there on Notorious. Stun is there from Tiny before the Cogs. DP pops that Exorcism. Looking for Dire Heroes, but she's simply too slow for now. Siphon is there on CB, but now Tiny blinks her way under these tier 3 towers. There's a 2-man coil from Alaris. Both supports of Dire will go down eventually. 1 kill to DP, 1 kill to Ench. In Radiance, we'll try to get more, but the problem is their waves are not in a good spot. The wave's all the way over here. So tower push will have to be without that ultimate from Macho Man. Has only 4 seconds duration left. But they do have an Aegis, and they are up 2 heroes. Tiny, the Beast of US East, goes in looking for Macho Man, and he will find it! A huge kill there from Tiny! And now, in comes Void Spear, trying to do damage. Tiny, though, trying not to die. He will go down. He is dead. And PMA has BKB trying to fight, stuns up Ural. Ural will go down eventually. And now it's PMA, Big Bad Alchemist, with his friend Void Spear, trying to kill this Puck. Puck was silenced by that Resonant Pulse, but still could orb away. And now Helix on the run. Helix will TP away. Stun was not there on time for PMA's Alchemist. Alaris is still on that run, and will simply walk away from Nef's Void Spirit. Overall, pretty chaotic fight. Overall was 3 heroes, 4-2 was the DP and the clock for the 3 through 5 of 5 dudes. Overall, probably a fine trade for Coconuts. They did not lose that Aegis, so they still can play as 5. And we are seeing no jumps for the first time in a long time. Everybody seems to be relatively content with farming and grouping. Actually, there is one more smoke on the Radiant, but this is their last. Actually, they've got 3 more smokes, so they can smoke for a while. They will smoke as 5. Looking at their vision, they see a hero middle, and they see a hero top. So this could be a very good opportunity for a kill for Coconuts Gaming. They are down 10k gold, but almost all that 10k is pretty much the Alchemist. Alright, this is the fight. Hook is in on Tiny. There's a 2-man coil. PMA trying to fight. Will pop that BKB eventually. We are seeing Beast of US East goes down. It's a trade for Ural. That's why we're doing so much damage. Lorenzo Metro Man goes down. Lorenzo trying to fight. Pops the rain. Pops the BKB. Now Alaris goes down. Helix goes down. It's Ursa versus 4. Aegis is down. He has Blink, but he'll eventually end up dying here. Blink away to the side. Can he escape? He does escape! But it's still a disastrous fight for Coconuts. It is a 4-for-1. They get Tiny in exchange for everybody but their Ursa. And that's on top of losing the Aegis. So it's a 5-for-1 engagement. Absolutely disastrous situation for Coconuts. And they might just lose their middle tier 2 on top of it. There's a DD on PMA's Alchemist. There's a siege unit in the area. And Radiant Defenders are currently not able to defend. They are deceased. Tower goes down, lasted to that Alchemist. And PMA is still there. Has BKB up in 10, has that Chemical Rage, and has that Assault Cuirass and that Basher. But you know what they're saying? You know what? We don't want to do this. We'll go for the bottom tier 2 instead. We'll play it smart. We'll get those outer towers. We'll get that map control. We don't want to overdo it and throw our lead, or at least not even throw any portion of our lead. They're onto the tower. It's taking some damage. Correction, it is dead. And now Radiant only have towers in that top lane area. So they're running out of structures. 5 dudes have smoked as 5. Tiny has arrived. Who do they see? They see Puck. That's their jump if they can find it. Void Spear is in the front, and Puck does have no defensive items. Silence is there, and Puck will eventually go down here. Look at Resilience. In comes Tiny. Combo is there. Down goes Mr. Sawyer Green. He is deceased, and his teammates will scatter, they will scurry, and they will not die to this I'll call it a 5-man gang squad from Dire. But Lorenzo's in a very odd spot. Will he survive? The answer is yes. Was looking to farm top lane, possibly play some Tree Man Dota up over here until Dire left, but decided, you know what? Not fun. I will TP all the way over there. And now Dire are headed for those last outer towers. They grab the tier 1. They have plenty of damage with the Echo Saber Tiny and the Alk, so they'll probably go for the tier 2 as well. The Acid Spray of the Ancients, but there are no Ancients to take. In Radiant appear to want to trade. They want this tier 1 bottom, but they're playing very timidly, scared of Void Spirit, who is currently off the map for them. PMA is still hitting this tower, and they will eventually go down. Puck is actually clearing the mid wave. She heading to the jungle for now, so the defense is over. 2 towers are now dead. And 5 dudes are once again headed back to farm, headed back to push out these lanes, may look for a pick-off. Looking at their vision, they have an idea of where Puck is thanks to that orb, actually. So they might just go on Puck, they can go for a blind initiation. But Radiant also sees the Tiny, so if Alaris dies here, that'd be a very rough death. Has the orb, will get off in time, avoiding the Resonant Pulse silences from that Aghanim's Void Spirit. And they appear to not be pursuing further. There actually are still 2 heroes in this area, so there might be some kind of like shenanigans going on. Looking at Radiant Vision, they see this Tiny. Might they jump? They will. The clock. Coil is there as well on 2. Inkstall will actually stop Puck eventually. Never mind, it's dodged by Phase Shift. Victorious will go down. The Soulbind was there. It's double Whistle Blade on the Puck and to the clock. Neither down just yet. Down goes Alaris. Tiny will be dead. In comes PMA. Kills Ural. Gets out of the cogs. Will pop the BKB. It appears not using it just yet. Helix on the run. Gets stunned up by Cask. Stun is there from PMA as well. Helix will go down to PMA. It's a 3-for-2 trade. And the heroes needing to push the buildings are still alive. Now they're going on to the Renzo. Has BKB, but he is bashed up. Has the Enrage, but it will not matter. He will go down eventually. Unless he's another miracle TP. A huge TP from Lorenzo once again. He did it in the jungle here. He did it in the trees over here. And twice he has escaped death with a very good blink into the trees into TP play. My lord, that's some good TP skills, but alas, as what happened last time, his team is simply deceased. Another not ideal trade for Coconuts. 5 dudes were scouting the Roshan pit, but there will be no action there today. It is down for another. Actually, we're not sure just yet. We'll see the respawn window now. There will be a relatively short respawn window, less than a minute. So it's a less than 9-minute respawn timer. Lorenzo. Sorry, Macho Man is playing in the trees. Correction. He's going bottom to play in other trees instead, it appears. He's pushing a lot of lanes this game, as makes sense. Over middle lane? Never mind, there is no jump middle lane. Looks like neither team is jumping in just yet. DP will grab that tower, but will she survive? In comes PMA. Abyssal is there with the Swift Blink, and that concoction is just a solo kill from PMA. He has 33,000 net worth. He is simply too large and in charge. He is a 6-slotted man, and with that Swift Blink plus Abyssal Blade, it's simply too much damage. Another stun middle lane, they go for Helix, and they don't even need the BKB. That's a godlike spree for PMA, and he's so fast. He's in the Roshan pit, but Ursa's also in the area. Might there be a contest? We're not sure yet. Lorenzo might go for a hero play here. He sees the writing on the wall. They don't want Aegis to go to PMA. Looking at Dyer, they have no idea. They're now scouting him, and Lorenzo will BKB in, looking for PMA. He wants to trade. Death Ward is there. Enrage is popped. Down goes Notorious, but can they get more? The answer is probably not. And now Ursa will go down. It's a 1-for-1 trade. That is very, very favorable for Coke for 5 dudes. And now Clock might go for hero play of his own. Has Rocket Flare, has Hook. Hook is into the pit, but it's the Roshan is not dead just yet. In comes the stun from Tiny onto Ural. Ural will go down. Aegis will go to PMA, and Puck tried for a hero play of his own, and now Puck will also go down. Coil is on 2, but he's tossed by Tiny. Double kill for the Tiny. 3 are dead, and it's looking very rough for the boys on Coconuts. In bottom lane, CB fighting up with Macho Man. Exorcism is popped, looking for that tier 2 tower bottom. But the problem is, the Rax might just fall middle lane in that time. Tower, still alive for now, but Tiny and Alk are hitting it back to bottom lane. Seems like everybody is alive for now. Siphon is used on CB. CB actually will go down here to Macho Man, but the problem is the barracks are still dead middle lane. The full set is down. PMA and the rest of his team are headed on to that bottom Rax now. Tower goes down. Ranger Axe already melting. Melee Axe already melting as well. They both go down in about 8 seconds. So it's simply too much building damage. That's 2 racks down. And Macho Man actually does not have TP up for another 31 seconds. So he is isolated if Dyer want to go for the Megas play. But Dyer appear to be content with grabbing that 2 sets of racks middle and bottom. PMA? Never mind, he's still alive. Tiny has to BKB, but he will get hooked. Soulbind is there on the Ursa and the Clock. Tiny trying to fight, but he should go down. Can he get a trade kill? And he will get a trade kill onto Ural. He's still alive. Coil is there, though, onto 2. Coil will break on Tiny. Void Spirit trying to fight. He's in that BKB. Down goes Tiny. Notorious is there, trying to help his Void Spirit. Alaris on the run. And PMA killed the Renzo solo across the map. And he will head back to the fight. Alaris will stay alive for now. He'll get a double kill there onto both the heroes, but in comes PMA. Down goes Alaris. He's fighting the Renzo. Bissell is up on 18. Enrage is popped. There's the concoction. Will get used eventually onto Ursa. Still on the run. Will go down. Both Radiant Cores buyback. Puck and Ursa, they're back in the field. But they cannot chase this Ursa, or this Alchemist in time, it appears. The orb is forward. They really want to find him, but they appear to be unable to find him. But they do see CB on that Witch Doctor. Orb is in. They're on the high ground. Once again, they vesseled up the Witch Doctor. They want the Alchemist as well, but cannot find that one. Cask is there onto Death Ward. Might get popped here. It is popped, doing a lot of damage, but he will simply get isolated out and killed by the rest of the Radiant. PMA was chasing, looking for Alaris. Abyssals up the Puck, but he is bashed up by the Ursa. BKB and Enrage. Popped by Ursa, looking for PMA. Have the Aegis. He's on the run. Pops Acid Spray. He's still running. He's simply too fast. It's a force snap. So unfortunate there from his team. Trying to keep on to that Alchemist, but Alchemist simply too fast. And this man has 835 move speed. It's no contest. And unfortunately for Coconuts, they could not get that very important kill onto the Alchemist. And with that Alchemist surviving there, that'll probably end up being the game. That was probably their last hope. The smoke is there, but that's a very ambitious smoke. They probably will not get any kills. He's very, very deep at this point. He's blinking into the base. This man is on some molly or some powder or something. And Tyre appear to actually know. They're picking it out. I don't think they care at this point. They're simply accepting this man as he lives in the Dire base now. Bottom lane, they will look for Ural. Ural will go down. We'll get defeated by that tiny Item Scepter, courtesy of the Alchemist, I am sure. Middle lane, though, PMA once again. Solo kills Macho Man on Death Prophet with the Swift Link into Missile. It's simply too much. Now, looking for Helix, still has the Aegis. And in the Dire base, Lorenzo is fighting in the fountain up against CB. He will go down there to that fountain damage, plus CB's Maledict. And it's XD's in the chat, as expected. That's 4 heroes on Coconuts are dead. PMA is tanking Impetus, but in comes the big bad Tiny, in comes Neff, in comes all of 5 dudes, and down goes Helix. Alaris is back. He'll have a shot at PMA. He goes in. Quill will break, and he actually will kill the Alchemist. But alas, it is only the Aegis, and Puck will pay with his life. And it's... I mean, Ural is now alive. Perhaps still have an attempt now onto these heroes, but it will be Megas for the Dirons. For Coconuts Gaming, that is going to be all, folks. They force the Alk, but Alk will BKB. Down goes Helix to the combo of the Tiny with that Aghanims. It's a full 5-man wipe. And for Coconuts, they put up a good game too. They put up a fight. But for them, their League of Lads Season 6 journey is over. And 5 dudes will pick up the 2-0 victory. And for them, they did what they had to. They're up to a 9-11 record. And they want to get as many wins as they can going into the playoffs. They want to improve their seeding as much as possible. And at 9-11, they can improve to 11-11, possibly, say, a 6 seed or something. Too hard to tell for now. But, either way, game is over. For Alchemists, simply, Alchemist was too big to fail. They did not have the greatest answers to deal with the Alk. They kept them down in the laning phase, but after that, Alk recovered with those stacks, farmed his own jungle, farmed his own tri-camp, had the ancient stack, had the hard camp stack, had Coconuts have contested him in time at the ancient stack, might have been a different game. They had the idea, they scouted him there, but alas, they could not find him. And for Coconuts, their season is over. They fought great adversity, playing up against teams that were 500 MR average to even 1,000 MR average above their team. And they put up some very respectable series and very respectable games, got 4 wins, got some very close losses as well. And I hope to see them back for Season 7 if they are still willing to play, because they certainly did improve a lot over the season, improved as a team. And if they can improve some of their stuff in terms of the early game and mid game team fights, that'd be a little more scary. Either way, though, my name is Badger. I'm proud, or not proud. I'm happy to have casted this League of Lads Season 6 matchup between the 5 average dudes and the Coconut Gaming side. Unfortunately for them, Coconuts did not go the way they wanted. They will end their season on a 0-2 loss. But for me, I'll be back looking at Lads matches. We'll be back for Nebula versus Funny Zone on the 9th of March at 8:30 p.m. That's a Tuesday. And once Pizza Dog Step Bro I'm Stuck eventually happens, I'll be there for that as well. And if you want me to cast for your games or your tournaments, please do contact me. I am on Discord. Best way to reach me, I am Badger number 5713. I'm just gonna double check on that one. Yeah, Badger 5713. So if you want to reach me, that is your best chance to reach me. Would love to cast for your games or your tournaments. Either way, have a great night.